I'm horrified. So I'm working on my story, and as it turns out, I had more ECT treatments than I originally thought. I don't have the exact number because my medical records were destroyed, but my mom kept notes, and just going from that, I had 66. But looking at the dates, I realize her notes are incomplete. They cover from 2002 to 2006. But I began having ECT when I was 17, which was 2001, which means a whole year is unaccounted for. The number has to be closer to 80 or 90. That means 80 to 90 electrically induced head injuries. I mean, I can't even. Another disturbing thing is the frequency of the treatments towards the end. I mean, it shows how ineffective the ECT was to necessitate getting it multiple times a month, along with several full series in between. I remember when I was having ECT how I couldn't think or retain any new information. I just slept for 90% of the time for like 2 weeks after ECT. My headaches were so severe I was prescribed Vicodin, a drug that no doubt played a role in my sense of well-being and feelings of peace after every shock treatment. Deep down I knew while I was having ECT I couldn't progress in any areas of my life towards independence, like going to school or managing bills or making and maintaining friendships while I was in this dazed state, but I accepted the story that I was treatment resistant and ECT was my only hope. When I recovered some brain function, my symptoms would return, and it was time to get shocked again. I think I have a lot of anxiety from just knowing how vulnerable I was while I was having ECT because I was so impaired cognitively, and then just the fact that nothing would have stopped these people or anybody from taking advantage of me, having me do another treatment, which in my mental state could not legitimately consent to. I mean, oh my gosh. Like, it's, and the fact that I don't remember so much of this, it's terrifying because it's like, oh my gosh, you know, this happened to me while I was unconscious and then I don't remember any of it. It's just terrifying. Well, and come to think of it, during the last series of ECT treatments I was having to get me off medications, I told my doctor I felt strange, and he told me to just come in for my next treatment. And, you know, I was dazed. I went ahead and did that. He didn't run any tests. He didn't, you know, think maybe we should put this off for a little bit to make sure that you recover or anything. Nothing. And that, that last set of treatments, that destroyed my mind permanently. Nobody's looking out for these people. Nobody. And these doctors, they can't be trusted. Even more so knowing what I know now about how incapable these people are of recognizing the harm done and how adamantly they refuse to offer testing or support. It terrifies me. I'm more afraid of doctors now than ever. But yeah, there are these people that are performing this procedure. They don't recognize the problems. They aren't even aware of the alternate explanation that, you know, the euphoria comes from brain damage, not some magical, effective brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or, you know, it's insane. You know, healing seizures, hello? Seizures are bad. That's why the body tries to stop them from happening. And then there's the other thing, they tell you not to sign any papers or make any big decisions while you're recovering from ECT, but you can consent to have more ECT while you're still recovering from ECT. Hello? I also kept a diary when I was having ECT. And reading the entries, there's virtually no change in my emotional problems that I was dealing with. I might have felt a little more detached, maybe a little giddy, but all of these problems, they never went away. All of my depression had legitimate causes and solutions, which I've been able to figure out and move forward. Only now, I'm severely disabled and live with the trauma of these injuries and the denial of any wrongdoing from psychiatry and just about every branch of medicine I've tried to get help from, as well as the regular abuse and discrimination I face daily for my cognitive disabilities. If you haven't, please read Shock Treatment, Efficacy, Memory Loss, and Brain Damage, Psychiatry's Don't Look, Don't Tell policy. It's a paper written by a paralegal representing a man who lost all his autobiographical memories from ECT. It explains how brain damage creates the benefit from ECT, and once the brain heals, symptoms are likely to return. Injuring the brain by electrocuting a person into a grand mal seizure just throws a temporary blanket over the person's problems while creating lasting cognitive and emotional impairment. To this day, doctors still refuse to recognize, acknowledge, or treat. I lost my childhood and my future to psychiatry, to drugs, to electroshock, to abusive therapies. Please, please, do your research, look into this information. There's so much more you can do for depression than what these institutions offer. I have some stuff I want to add that didn't really fit in this video, so stay tuned for part 2. I'm curious, if you had ECT, did you ever forget how many treatments? What resources helped you understand what ECT really did to you? Tell me about it in the comments section below. Thank you.